Hi, Professor David Worsley here. This video provides help to parents with children having nightmares. First, understanding what nightmares are. They're basically dreams, exaggerated, fearful dreams that children have that are scary, and the images stay in their child's mind when they wake up. They're often increased by changes that occur during transitions of routine, or when a child watches fearful movies before bedtime. They can also happen because of traumatic experiences. So what do you do about these? What can be done to decrease nightmares in children? Often the most scary dreams for children happen between 3 and 6 or 7 years old. And they happen during what is called REM sleep. REM sleep refers to rapid eye movement, which is a period during sleep in which dreams are often happening. Eyes are moving as if you're awake, but you're not moving around. But the body and the mind think you're still awake. For a child, if these become very fearful images, they will often, wake up and be upset, which causes parents often to become upset. Here are some strategies you can use to decrease nightmares. I would start at least a half an hour before bedtime, having them take a bath, take a shower, get their clothes on, get all cleaned up, brush their teeth, have a regular routine, and then a quiet play fun time right before they go to sleep. Again, we're talking about children that are preteen and younger. So if you consider that, looking at that routine, one of the things in the routine is to perhaps read a story together. This is a non-scary story, a fun story that you can share together. Or exchanging, using stuffed animals to act out a story that they might enjoy. In some cases, a lot of boys like to do with Legos. So building a little Lego creature or statue together just creates connection with the child before their bedtime. If they're having a nightmare, often it's because they feel powerless. Think about it. If you as an adult have a nightmare, isn't it when we feel powerless, like something's happening, we don't have any control over it? This is how the child feels. So having a routine, encouraging them, and being calm, these are important factors. You help them identify a hero figure, a special hero they have that they really feel good about, and encourage them to bring that hero figure with them into the dream so that they can be with them when they're facing their fears. Often, again, the child is feeling powerless and having a hero figure that they feel strong about. In some cases, their hero figure is their dad or their mom or their grandparent. But in some cases, it's a cartoon character or some special hero figure that's on one of their favorite TV shows. In one case, I had a boy who had a cartoon figure that he felt was really his hero figure. And I encouraged him, suggested to him to bring that cartoon character in with him during his dreams. And he was able to do that. And through that, he was able to stave off the fear he had and face the fear he had. And this really empowered him. Not only affected him during sleep not to have nightmares, but affected how he was with other children and with situations he was dealing with. He was a fairly sensitive child, so having this feeling of confidence boost was very helpful to him. If your child does have a nightmare, when they first are in the nightmare, they're yelling or upset. When you go in, make sure you're calm. Sit with them, hold them, encourage them, but don't encourage the nightmare itself or bring it up in more detail. Again, listen without overplaying it. A lot of times young children particularly will have a nightmare. They'll be awake for 20, 30 seconds and they'll go right back to sleep again. So listening carefully means this. When they describe their nightmare, don't ask a lot of questions. I'm recommending not asking a lot of questions. Just listen, reflect. I hear you. I understand you're afraid, but I'm here. you're going to be fine. Don't deny it or try to make a defense of it, or try to deny that it happened, or say that nightmares aren't real. You could say that if you want to, but the key here is to be calm, to not try to play along with the nightmare, but to just be calm about it, like it's no big deal. Often that will help a child feel better about it. Again, the next part of it is then be calm, help them feel calm, and you might caress their shoulders or their back to help them feel soothed so they can go back to sleep again. Watching TV movies or shows that are very anxious producing before bedtime is a real setup for bad dreams. In addition, video games in particular, sometimes we get busy as parents and we don't notice our children are playing video games that are very aggressive and fear-producing. And so being careful to monitor video games at night or in the evening is very important as another area that can cause fear and anxiety. Another area I want to talk to you about is traumas. A trauma, like a major change in routine. The COVID virus is an example of a traumatic situation that can be upsetting for parents and upsetting for children, and can often cause nightmares. So that would be considered a trauma situation. Another example would be if you were in an accident in the car and the child was involved in that accident. That could be trauma producing and cause nightmares. Again, the child feels powerless, which increases the anxiety at nighttime and possible nightmares. So if a trauma situation is severe enough to cause the child to be afraid to go to bed at night, or it's affecting their life in major ways, that is a time to reach out to a sleep specialist or a doctor. I'm going to leave some links below of possible references or places you can check that out if you feel your child's nightmares are more severe. Here's a summary of what we covered in this video. Understanding the causes of nightmares. Start a regular bedtime routine at least 1/2 hour before children go to bed. Read a non-scary book or play with Legos with your child, depending on the child. Do not let children play video games, especially aggressive ones, before bedtime. Help children identify a hero figure that they can invite into their dreams. Trauma can cause children to have nightmares. Know when to get medical help. In closing, I encourage you to view my next video, Help Traumatized Children, Manage Impulsive or Destructive Behaviors. By subscribing to my channel, both parents and teachers have access to videos I created based on my experiences as a parent and over 40 years as a teacher, counselor, and college professor. Also, below in the comment section, I include a link to Help Traumatized Children Manage Impulsive or Destructive Behaviors. Finally, I welcome comments regarding your own experiences with your children. Hope you have a great day.